So they kind of wrapped me around what it is to to be a DJ. They showed me different things. Like each one of them has such a specific style. So being able to sit back and watch how they present themselves as DJs, they would step in and like show me different things while I was doing a mix, or you know what I mean? It was kind of like a big brother like situation. Like, we got you, sis. Like, come on. Like, so that was a huge, like, there's not a lot of DJs that would kind of grab you like that fast.
Yeah.
And be that welcoming, especially to a female DJ.
Yes.
So that was just that's a huge part of my career, is having that support in that way, for sure.
Tap in with me.
Yo, we get that mic hot, then we let that mic drop. Yeah, mic drop, mic drop. We get that mic hot, then we let that mic drop. Yeah, mic drop, mic drop. Ooh.
Tap in with me. Tap in with me.
Mic drop, mic drop, mic drop, mic drop.
This is the Mic Drop with B. Anderson, and we are back again after about a month layoff, and we are here with DJ Queen Celine. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, of course. So I know you've been busy.
Yes.
And we're going to get into all of those things.
Okay.
But, we're going to start off first by talking about how did you originally get into DJing in the first place?
Yeah, for sure. So it was honestly a wild, just weird story. And honestly, my whole life has been a testimony of God just guiding me to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this video, and I have to find it. But a long time ago in high school, I was in band. Not a lot of people know that. And I played the saxophone.
Okay.
And I told my mom before I picked that instrument, like in 5th grade, that I wanted to play the drums. And she was like, no, like, play the saxophone, it's cooler. So, like, years down the road, it was fine. Like, I learned how to play the saxophone and stuff like that. She took me to to one of the music stores. I think it was like Sam Ash.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this DJ section, like, with all this equipment and lighting and stuff like that, and I was just drawn to it. And there's a video of me like playing around with the equipment, and my mom's kind of like, okay, Celine, like, let's go get your new saxophone, like, that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that video kind of like foreshadowed, I guess, what I was going to go into. But I've always loved music.
Mm-hmm.
I was also in athletics. Like, I'm tall, so a lot of people wanted me to, especially my parents. My dad wanted me to play basketball, so he put me in all these sports, and I played softball. I did everything.
Okay.
So marching band, softball, basketball, just a whole bunch of different things. But I was always drawn to music. So in college, I didn't pursue sports or anything like that. I actually joined a dance team, and after that, I went straight into teaching for a few years. I want to say like right before COVID, I was trying to find like an outlet. Like, it was getting kind of tedious.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed some sort of hobby. So one time I was watching one of my male friends from college. He was DJing, and I was like, this is kind of dope. Like, can I come see you like DJ one time?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just sitting like behind where he was, and I was just watching how like every song he was playing was like getting people to interact and have a good time. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is amazing. Like, I was used to see DJs like on movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that would be so cool to do. So like something in me was like, just try it, Celine. Like, you can just do it for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I started learning from him, and I was just so drawn to it. He introduced me to April Rain at Elements. Yeah, he was like, you should learn from her. Like, if you're really serious about this, like, go to her.
Yeah.
So she was actually the first person to be like, come on, like, let me show you some things. And, like, I was just amazed at her being able to teach these group of guys, like, these grown men, like, different things. Like, she was the teacher. And, you know, in education, it's always, like, there's not a lot of diversity. So seeing a black woman teaching, like, that was just, it made me feel safe. And so, like, at the end of class, I didn't touch any of the equipment because I was terrified. She was like, I was so scared. Like, I didn't know what anything was, you know what I mean? She was like, you're a DJ. Just come back to the next class. Like, keep coming back. So that's when I dedicated myself. I went right to Amazon. I bought my first little turntable. I went to Big Lots and purchased, like, this really bootleg, like, $20 speaker.
Yeah.
My workout headphones that I was using, they were these Beats. I didn't stop working out, but I started using those as my headphones. And I just, like, engulfed myself in it. It was like, I went to practice, or I went to the class every week at Elements, and then that's, like, the start of it, honestly. It was just...
There's a few things to unpack there.
Yeah.
Well, first off, let's go back. So how long did you do band? And did you play the saxophone the entire time in band? Yeah,
so I started, I think it was 5th grade was when I was introduced to it. And they were like, you all can start band, pick your instrument. I think my parents knew that I was interested in music. So I was persuaded by my mom to play the saxophone. She was like, it would be so cool. Like, there's not a lot of female, like, saxophonists, like, do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I still know some stuff. Like, I could probably pull it out and play some notes, but it's probably dusty. Like,
it's like riding a bike to me.
Yeah.
Like, I played the trumpet from 4th.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
So
a lot of people don't know that. Like,
I
did it from 4th to 8th grade.
Yeah.
And I know, like, my mom was like, you should stay with that, you know, and keep doing it. But
now we have to get our instruments back out and start bands.
Right.
That's what we have to do.
So,
that's crazy.
So, that's dope, though, that you did the saxophone. So, you said your dad had you playing a lot of different sports. So, did you excel in sports?
Okay, I was a girly girl.
Oh, okay.
So that was,
okay.
that was a hard part. I did not have a passion for, like, one-on-one contact. So I excelled in stuff like softball. Softball was my jam. Like, I did so well.
Okay.
But because of my height, everyone was like, you need to be in basketball.
Yeah.
So I was thrown in there. I was just very emotional about the fact of being aggressive. Like, I did not want to be aggressive. I didn't want to foul people. I didn't want to touch girls. Like, I just was like,
right.
Like, you can see all my pictures. Like, I had earrings on and headband, and, like, all my sports pictures are very, like, model-esque.
I'm about to say, you was modeling out.
Yeah, I was ready for the photo now. So that was, like, the best part. But the physical contact was just not.
I'm like, she needs to guard me because she'd stop and take a picture. I
just scored. Exactly. So that's the only thing. And we tried. I did it for years.
Yeah.
I played both the instrument and the different sports from 5th grade on. Or I started sports way younger, like kindergarten, I want to say. But the saxophone I played from 5th grade all the way through 11th, 12th.
Okay. So you mentioned DJ April Rain. Shout out to DJ April Rain. Because when I was introduced to her, I was told that she has really had an intricate part in a lot of the DJ's success in the city of Cincinnati. So, you know, that is dope. And so, what do you feel like she saw in you when, with that first class, when you all were first working together? What do you feel like she saw in you that made her say, you know, you a DJ?
Yeah, I have no idea. That's a good question. I'm going to ask her that. But I will always shout April out. And I didn't know that because I was also, like, looking at a lot of the other DJs in the city that were big. And to find out later on that she played a huge part in them even starting DJing or, like, helping them, I was like, this is it. Like, it doesn't get any better than this. Like, learning from somebody and then seeing the product of, like, her being that teacher for all these other people in the city is amazing. So I don't know. I really
And
don't
she's
know
so like calm and
Yeah.
everything. And
Yes.
at the summer camp last year that I was a part of, when they were Elements was teaching hip hop to the summer camp kids and everything, and I was doing creative writing. She was doing the DJing, and then you had Noah, and so I just thought that, you know, it was real dope because it's like, you know, she's working with adults, she's working with kids, and, you know, just does an excellent job. So, you know, that's dope that you came up, you know, under the tutelage of her, and things like that. With so many people that DJ in the city, how have you been able to separate yourself from, you know, what other people are doing, like to be able to be authentic?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think my biggest thing was, as I was watching and kind of observing how other people put their sets together, I think when I first started, honestly, it was more of like a hobby to me. Like, I was having such a good time just blending songs together. It almost felt like, I can't even explain the feeling. It just felt like I can't think of the word, but have you ever seen that movie, what's that movie called? He's a pianist. It's like a cartoon on Disney. I can't think of it. I have to figure out the name of that.
Yeah.
But in the movie, he's like playing the piano, and it like shows him like going into this world where it's just him and the music. Like, that's exactly what it felt like. So I think just me starting off with having a passion for it, because it's such a huge culture, and I also admired how a lot of DJs in the city felt the same way. Like, it wasn't a clout thing, or it wasn't, oh, I'm doing this because I want to be popular. It, like, everybody that I met had a true passion for the art and culture of DJing. So that pushed me even more to kind of cultivate what it is for me, what that meant for me being a DJ in the city of Cincinnati as well. So
it's interesting because with me being a poet, a lot of people say, like, man, how'd you write that? Like, I have a hard time, you know, doing it, but you make it look so effortless. And that's how I feel about you when I see you DJ. I've seen you, you know, on multiple occasions DJing. You make it look so easy, and you have a passion for this. Was this something that was easy to pick up, or was it challenging at first and it became easier?
Well, a lot of the hard parts were kind of like the technical and just understanding, like you know, the different parts of equipment and stuff like that. That was probably the hard part, but because I already had a love for music, that part came easy, because I was like easily able to experiment. Like, it felt like I was in a lab of all these different songs that I love. Being able to like experiment with that part was the easy part for me, for sure.
With DJing being one of the elements of hip hop, especially in the early stages of hip hop, it was like if you didn't have a DJ, you weren't getting played. Was there any particular DJs that kind of influenced you as far as like the way you do things, or did you kind of just do your own thing?
I think my biggest influence would have came from the people that like kind of grabbed me and were like, okay, like, come down and play with us. So that's the Sunday Heat crew. So DJ Diamond, DJ Ghost, DJ Merkout, Master Fresh. So I think Ghost came down to an Elements class one time and just was kind of messing around. And he was like, hey, like, you should come down to Sunday Heat and kind of like mess around with, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I say God always has a hand in stuff that I do, because he always guides me to the right people that are going to help me in different ways.
Absolutely.
So they kind of wrap me around what it is to be a DJ. They showed me different things. Like, each one of them has such a specific style. So being able to sit back and watch how they present themselves as DJs, they would step in and like show me different things while I was doing a mix, or you know what I mean? It was kind of like a big brother like situation. Like, we got you,
Yeah.
sis. Like, come on. Like, so that was a huge, like, there's not a lot of DJs that would kind of grab you like that fast.
Yeah.
And be that welcoming, especially to a female DJ.
Yes.
So that was just, that's a huge part of my career, is having that support in that way, for sure.
So would you say, with being a woman, a black woman at that, and being a DJ, has it been easy or hard over the years with getting gigs and things? I know you're really busy now, but as far as starting off with you being a black woman, was it easier? Because in a lot of cases, when you think of DJ, you think of a man. So how has that played a role in your journey as a DJ? Yeah,
for sure. I think it has its benefits being women. There's a lot of people that are open to having a woman DJ. The hard part is establishing yourself as a DJ, just a DJ.
Yeah.
So like, I notice how in some ways it's like, oh, she's a female DJ. This is really cute. Let's put her at the beginning of the event. And then it was very rare to have a female closing DJ for certain events.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, no, like, I want to be the DJ at the event.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be Queen Celine, the DJ.
Right.
So that was a big motivation factor for me. I knew that if I wanted to kind of tussle with the boys, that I needed to practice and perfect my craft in a way that I can handle myself in that way. So like, oh, well, Queen Celine's coming, so she's going to be good. I wanted to have that confidence in myself, and then also other people to have that confidence in me as well.
Well, you definitely doing a great job.
Thank
like
you.
I said, you know, every time I see you on Instagram, you somewhere else, somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You doing your thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered going on the radio, or do you kind of like to remain your own brand and freelance?
Yeah, I would love to go on a radio or kind of be, I don't want to say commercialized, but yeah, I would love to be some sort of personality somewhere, like for an organization or a brand or an artist or a radio station. I think that would be like the big goal for sure, is to be able to have that as a platform.
Okay.
Yeah.
That goals. Hey, it's
Yeah,
all
it's
about
goals.
those goals. So,
Yeah.
you know, you're still young, so you got plenty of
Oh, thank
time.
you.
You know,
I feel like I'm aging by the minute. But
yeah, but you got plenty of time, you know, to be able to do that. I mean, all of us in our creative careers, like, I don't think that it has a ceiling, you know. So, you know, I think that as long as you continue to be passionate about what it is that you're doing, you got plenty of time.
Yeah, that's good to know. I'm such a hard critique, so I'm thankful that you said that, because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like tapping on the door of 30. Like, I have so many things I need to do, and life can, you know what I mean? Like, life can just make you feel like that, or just the outside world and how people are moving. So that's like a big thing for me, because I know I have a competitive nature.
Yeah. So
I have to like slow myself down and be like, okay, Celine, you're doing fine. You're accomplishing this, this, and this. Like, celebrate what you have accomplished. That's like a huge thing for me right now.
Well, if I could add some motivation, I didn't really get started as far as really putting out books and albums and really sharing my poetry with the world until I turned 30.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So I was always writing,
Yeah.
but I just hadn't shared anything or done anything really with my gifts until 30. So the fact that you started much earlier means that the sky's the limit. And kind of speaking of that, you know how like in sports you retire after a certain age, or when you get a certain age you stop. How is it for DJing? Like, do you see anyone, like, and I'm not referring to mainstream, but I mean like kind of on like the local or the state circuit that are like older that are DJing, or do you think it's like a young man and young woman's game?
I don't know. That's not, like, that's such a good question. I feel like you can continue to do it. Like, I know people that are older that are still doing it. I guess it's just all about like how intense you want to go. The hard part about the DJ world is that it does move fast. So to stay on top of like the music and what audience you're trying to captivate and stuff like that. I think you just have to be willing to be mindful of it throughout your career. So,
I got you. Okay.
yeah.
I met you at Doo-Wop Cincinnati Poetry Slam sometime last year.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get hooked up with Doo-Wop? Was it through the whole Elements thing?
I think so. I can't remember, honestly. Like, I just feel like we've been plugged in for forever. It's like, we know each other.
Uh-huh.
You'll have to ask Doo-Wop on that one, because I don't remember how this, it had to be Elements, though. I think possibly through April Rain or somebody.
I don't know why I didn't.
Good question.
I don't know why I didn't ask her that. Like, knowing that you were coming, I'm like, I should have asked her.
No, that's a good question. I can't remember how this started, but I will say this, and she might not know this. Nobody might know this. So I actually started attending the poetry slams way back when, and this is before I even started DJing.
Really?
Yes, because I started teaching a class that I created in my teaching world, called African American Literature and Pop Culture. So I wanted to expose the students to different elements of like Black art and literature, and one of those being spoken word. So I went to the slam hoping to like network and meet some slam poets that would possibly come to the class, and I did have a couple come to the class, which is crazy. And so I was in the back of the audience, and there was another DJ, I can't remember the name. I don't know if you were there around that time when there was somebody else.
I just came in last year.
Okay, so we're both fresh to the game. Yeah. So there was another, and I remember listening to the music. I'm like, man, like the music she's playing is like amazing. Like, I love this. I would love to do something like that one day. And I'm in my head, I was like, I would love to DJ like a poetry slam or something one day. Yeah. And look at that.
Yeah.
Look at where we are.
Because you done DJ like half of the one, at least half, if not more than half of the ones. Because I think I've done, let's see, 5. I covered 5 season 1. Let's see. Then we have March, May, August, September. So I've done 9 so far. So, you know, that's dope, man. It's like you like really achieving your goals. Yeah. And you speak on your teaching. So are you still teaching?
I have turned into an instructional coach for teachers. Okay. So I left the classroom, but I'm coaching K through 12 educators on just like how to put technology in their classroom and stuff like that. So I'm still in the schools, but I'm not teaching. I'm teaching.
So it's like freelance or like
it's with a company.
Contract?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever considered kind of following in the footsteps of what April Rain has done and, you know, teaching younger, even if it's adults or younger kids, how to DJ?
Yeah, I think I would love to do that. I think just mixing both the elements of my world of teaching and also DJing like would be amazing to accomplish. I kind of work with some of the youth too that DJ through elements, like DJ Congo. He's always at these events, but he no longer needs teaching. That boy is going places. But you know what I mean? Like, just being around the youth and with still working with elements on certain projects has been a good time, because that's always home base for me. So I would love to one day. The thing is, I have to be as good as April, because that's hard. That's hard to fill those shoes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think even getting some advice from her on, you know, how should I go about this? What should I look for? What should I do? So I think sometimes going back to the mentor and, you know, just getting some advice and things like that would help in the long run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Me and April are locked in. Like, I will text her all the time, like, if I need something or ask her something. She'll tell you. She'll tell you all about that.
So as far as being in person, I've seen you, you know, DJ multiple poetry slams. You even DJ'd book release parties, things like that. You did probably almost around this time last year. You did Laura Wise's book release. I've seen you on Instagram. You know, we talked about you doing weddings and things like that. Where would you say is probably your favorite place to DJ?
That's hard. That's very difficult.
I mean, if you can kind of like narrow it down, like,
Yeah.
you know, would you say like you like weddings, or do you like creative spaces best, like things like that?
Yeah, I think I like community projects and events or corporate events where it's like themed to something specific. So like a poetry slam, or like I did an event with Procter and Gamble where it's like where they were training their women colleagues on certain things. You know what I mean? Stuff like that where it's themed around things of those nature, things of that nature. I think those would probably be my favorite. I don't, in terms of like a specific venue or anything like that. I love doing all different types of things. So sometimes it's like the vibe that I'm feeling. So if I'm feeling, oh, I want to do more hip hop, oh, it's going to be this type of venue. Sometimes I like to escape and do some house or some pop top 40. So going down to like the Banks or something like that. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of different kind of moods that I like to play around with. Yeah. So I don't like to stay in just one space of DJing.
One thing I like about what I've seen you do personally is the fact that after a poet has performed at the slam, you play music that is like geared towards what they just spoke on the mic.
Oh yeah.
And I think to me that's a gift to be able to do that, because as the poet is doing their piece, you kind of have to, you're not only DJing, you kind of have to lock into what the poet is talking about, then pick like the perfect music as they're going off stage. Like that's talent to me, because I be thinking, I'm like, man, how does she just have all of this like just in her mind, like just ready to go? Like are you like through the first minute of their poem, are you kind of listening, and then the second minute, are you kind of like searching? Like
so it might be the English teacher in me, because I just love poetry in general. So to be able to mix that with music, it just comes to me, and I love poetry. So right when the person starts, it's like a mixture of the tone that they're bringing, and then I'll just grab certain words, or if there's like a repeat in one of their verses, I'm like. And sometimes they'll throw, like, they have a song in there, or like an artist, or if, you know, some poets, like, they start with a song they're singing, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna play this Alicia Keys, because it fits. So it all depends, and sometimes I struggle too, because I'm like, there's some like deep topics, so it's like, I'm thinking, okay, what song can I play to not like take away from what they just presented, but also not make the audience feel like low, bring them down, but keep the energy up. So there's moments like that where I'm just like, oh gosh, what am I gonna play? So, but yeah, that's how it starts usually.
Has there ever, and you don't have to like say the place or anything like that, but have you ever been in a position where you just like flat out turn down an opportunity to DJ somewhere, or do you take all of the opportunities if you have the space on your schedule?
Yeah, sometimes I do, and it's only if I'm looking at my calendar and it just doesn't fit with what's going on in that season for me, or I know I'm overbooked and I'm going to be burnt out, because it's very important to me that I'm able to perform at my best. So if I'm like, I have this late night event, and if I have to be there super early, I know I'm not going to be able to do that. There's been days where I'm like, I booked myself for 3 events, and I'm like, oh, I can get through that, and it's fine. You know what I mean? So it just depends. It really just depends on what I know I'm able to give to the people. That's very important to me.
Absolutely. Would you say that you've received all love in the DJ community, or have you like experienced like any type of like hate or backlash or things like that? Because in a lot of different communities, I mean, I know the creative community as a whole, but sometimes like if you're a rapper or singer or things like that, sometimes you kind of go through those seasons where you know, you may have some type of beef with somebody or anything. Like, has it been all love, or have you experienced some hate?
I wouldn't even say it would be hate per se. It would be like different moments where either someone's just kind of moves a certain way, or they'll want you for a specific event and then pick somebody else. And usually you can just tell, like, it might not be like in all cities or states, but like certain events want a certain vibe or a certain appeal. So I automatically like kind of watched that happen in front of me. So at the beginning of my career, I kind of like took that as, oh, I'm just not good enough. And then over time, I kind of just built like that tough skin of like, well, if they didn't want me for this event, then it just wasn't meant for me to be there. There's stuff like that. So I wouldn't even call it hate. And then on top of that, maybe just like sometimes people will like throw critique at certain things that I'm doing. So again, having to have tough skin for that, because I can either take that and just take it like a pill and just swallow it, or I can like linger and be like, oh my gosh, they just said I was the worst at this transition. Like,
right.
So it's all, I think stuff like that, it's all about, whereas at the beginning of the career I was a little bit more sensitive to, now it's just like, I can kind of feed myself what it is that I need and don't need, and just kind of keep going forward after that.
So you touched on different cities and things like that. How many different cities have you DJ'd in?
Not that many, actually. That's my goal, is to like go into more cities. Probably about 5 that I can think of.
That's still dope, though.
Yeah. So the goal is to expand as much as I can. I think the farthest I've gone is California.
Really?
Yeah.
Like LA?
San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay. I always wanted to go. Okay. So you DJ'd out there?
Yeah.
Dang, how did you get connected with somebody in San Diego?
So it was actually a family member.
Okay.
My aunt knew a DJ out there at a specific venue. And part of my family is Hispanic. Like, not a lot of people know that.
Okay.
So my grandmother is Mexican. So there was like a Hispanic DJ that she met, that he plays like mostly Hispanic tunes in this venue. So I just prepared a set for that and flew out and DJ'd for the night there. So
that is dope.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah. And I've been invited back. I just haven't had a chance to go. So I'm looking forward to figuring out how to get back out there.
What advice would you give a young person who you come across and they express interest in DJing?
Yeah, I think the biggest piece of advice is just to start. Find what and where you can learn how to do the basics, and then a lot of my honest practice and things just came from my own personal time spending with my equipment and just kind of messing around. And then go on YouTube. YouTube is like a huge resource I used for, you can look up anything from like beginner DJ tips to like what equipment you should get to start with. And just really engage with the community. I think that's the big thing. The DJ community is so vast. Mostly everybody is going to help you in some way, shape, or form. I've never not received help. So I think that's might be the scariest part, but that's like the biggest part to lean into, is finding who can help you get started, for sure.
Especially for young girls. I'm hoping that the diversity in DJing continues to, go up, just because I think it's a beautiful thing. Like when you see when you see different creative communities as far as like music or spoken word and things like that, it's starting to become more diverse after originally being male dominated. So I think that's a beautiful thing. Yes,
we really want our females out here in the game. Don't leave us by ourselves.
What was it like a few months ago? We were actually on there together with the Black Art Talk on behalf of Doo-Wop Cincinnati Poetry Slam.
Oh yeah.
What was that experience like? Because I've been on panels before, but I haven't been on many panels with other creatives that are, you know, kind of diverse, you know, and not doing the exact same thing as, you know, I may be doing. So what was that like for you being in that space?
I don't know why, but I was like super nervous.
Really?
Yeah, I was like extremely nervous. I don't think I've ever been on a panel.
Really? Wow.
I don't think so. Like I've like scanned through my memory banks, and I was like, I don't think I've ever been on a panel where I had to speak on myself as a brand. And I was like, I didn't prepare anything or anything like that. But the questions were amazing. It just, I was just nervous.
That was actually one of the things that made me want to interview you in the first place, just because, you just had an interesting take on, you know, just your creativity as a DJ and kind of your journey and things like that. I was like, man, I love when I get back started to, you know, have her on. And then also, too, when I looked down and I seen the sneakers, I said, oh, snap. Like, you know, we got to talk about the shoes. Like,
I love shoes so much.
So what you got on today?
These are just Air Max. Like,
Air Max,
nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Okay, yeah.
They're comfortable.
Yeah.
I've been leaning towards the comfortable shoes, like New Balances, Air Max.
Okay. What's your favorite shoe?
I don't think I have a favorite. I literally just go to anything that looks good. But the New Balance, I can't remember the name of them. It's like a collab New Balance that just came out not so long ago. I have them. I just can't think of the name. They're just super comfortable. And you can wear them. I won't say you can wear them with anything, but they have different colors and stuff. But they're just so comfortable. And I feel like as I'm aging, like I've been leaning away from like my regular dunks and stuff like that. I love a good dunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been leaning towards the New Balances real hard.
I've actually never had a pair.
Are you serious? They're kind of like addictive like Crocs because they're comfortable. Like when you put them on, I could wear those for hours.
See, I don't like the way Crocs look, so I don't have a pair.
Oh, really? I only have one pair, and I don't wear them. I just wear them to the grocery store. Like, I don't wear them for fun.
See, I rock some Air Max, you know, any day of the week, you know, because to me, that's like the most comfortable shoe. Like, if you buy the Vapor Max the right way, super comfortable. Like, I like the Nike Air Up Tempos.
Okay,
those are real comfortable. I think the 270s, Air Max 270s, those are real comfortable. So, you know, I'm all about comfort as well, especially like with me, with being at events and covering events, I'm jumping up, I'm on my feet a lot. So it's like, gotta have something, you know, comfortable. So,
exactly.
You know,
have to.
Yes.
You got to.
So, you talk about a lot of goals just as far as, you know, being a DJ. Do you have any goals or aspirations outside of DJing that you would like to accomplish?
I think just my life goal in general is just to excel to the highest level of what I can and be able to, like, I want to have a bigger platform just in general with everything that I do. So just to have that platform where people can lean into, like, I'm very big on being able to inspire and help people as much as I can. So to be able to have some sort of platform that is bigger than just DJing would probably be my end goal for sure.
That's dope. You know, always expanding beyond what you originally started with is what I see so many people doing these days, like wearing multiple hats, just in case like anything ever goes left, you know, here, it's like I can lean on this. So I definitely would encourage to continue with the teaching. You know, just really continue teaching because we always need more teachers and more Black teachers in general. For sure. So
that's been my hardest thing. Like, I know I can't leave that part of my life. Like, it's been such a huge thing for me. So yeah, I think I'm in the education realm for the long run.
So outside of the DJing and teaching, what is DJ Queen Celine doing on on a basis when you're not doing those things? Because you are busy a lot. So when you do have free time, what are you doing?
So recently I've grown addicted to going to the gym for fun. It's a great sense of relief for me, just to like work out or like do something physically active. That's huge. I'll probably be cooking something. I like to cook when I can. Okay. Because it's just hard, the fast lifestyle, the grab and go stuff. Yes. So I like to cook and like meal prep my stuff out. Like that's such a huge thing to me to be that organized. And right now I'm diving into my YouTube series, so that's been like very interesting. Me editing and putting together my own videos, like vlogging almost. Yeah. So I'm experimenting with that right now.
I've seen you post a couple of things on Instagram, I believe. And I was like, man, she put that together? Like, it was just dope the way it was done. I was like, okay, I see you. But yeah, because I'm always like, I try to share everything that I see. Yeah. If it come across my radar, the mic drop with B. Anderson is going to share it somehow.
Yeah,
so
we appreciate you for sure. That's huge. Not a lot of people share stuff nowadays because everyone's kind of like competing. Yeah. So we're very grateful that you're doing that for sure.
I just always felt like it's enough for everybody. Yeah. So it takes literally 2 seconds out of my day to press the share button and share it to my stories. And I've had so many people say like, oh, because of your stories, I had somebody inbox me yesterday and inquire about something I shared, and they thought it was my stuff, and I was like, no, I said, but I can direct you to the person who this is for. So, sharing is such a powerful thing. Word of mouth is everything. Yes. And if people are tapping in with you, and then they see that you sharing somebody else's stuff, and they like, oh, wait, let me check this out. So
being a vessel for sure. Yeah, that's amazing.
Just never know.
Yeah.
So when it comes to as far as DJing, like last question about DJing, what would you say is a space that you haven't yet gotten to, like as far as DJing, that you're like, this place, like I really want to be in this space. I want to DJ in this spot. Like, would you say you have a destination?
My biggest dream in general is just to have like a big stage moment where it's like thousands of people, like I'm talking about like festival, big, or like even Paycor Stadium, like huge, so I feel like once I touch that, that'll probably be like the moment I'll be at the DJ booth crying because like I always envision myself in that space where it's just like multiple people, just like huge. So yeah, I just envision that. We'll see. I don't know how to get. I haven't figured out how to get there yet, but yeah.
Hey, sometimes it's that word of mouth. You just networking. You never know who's gonna be in the crowd of a place where you are DJing at. So just continuing to network and be in different spaces, I think, is probably the key to doing that.
Yeah, for sure. You're right.
Why don't you let the people know where you are on social media, let them know your YouTube and everything, so they can tap in.
Yeah, so you can follow everything, Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook and Instagram mainly, at Queen Celine DJ. And then my YouTube channel is DJ Queen Celine or Queen Vibe TV. You can find it either way, and that's just a new series I'm promoting about DJ lifestyle. I'm vlogging, showing like behind the scenes, interviewing other DJs, and just having, that very personal connection with what DJ life looks like. So that's new, and there's already 4 episodes out right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
You can binge those.
Definitely gotta go tap in with those. Okay. Good to know. Let the people know where you're gonna be next, because you are all over the place.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what is the next event? I'm trying to think. We're all over it. Next Friday, or I don't know when this is airing. Is this airing?
It'll be in a couple days. So.
Okay, yeah. So this coming Friday, Queens Village is hosting their yearly concert, and Tank and the Bangas are performing. DJ April Rain is DJing the event. I'm DJing the after party at Queen City Radio from 9 to 12, I believe. 12 to 1 or something like that.
Turn up. That's my birthday.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll have to come out for sure.
Yeah, turn up.
So yeah, there's that. We have some poetry slams coming up. There's a
So when you're DJing on November 11th?
Yes.
Okay.
So November 11th, there's that. There's a ton of things in October, or next Saturday actually, AC Hotel on the rooftop. I'll be DJing the night away there from 9 to 12. That's another one. UC Homecoming is coming up as well.
Oh,
so,
snap.
If you're preparing for that in the month of October, there's a few events I'll be doing then as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm considering competing in November 11th. I've never been in a poetry slam before.
Listen, you better go through it.
I know.
Push through it.
I know. Listen,
Do it.
I done said it now, and it's gonna air. So
yeah, so they need to know, and they need to see you.
I know.
I'll be on stage with you.
Yeah.
You on.
Hey, listen, I've been nervous. Like I've been nervous about doing it just because it's not something that I ever aspired to do when I got into poetry.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I want to put my poetry out there. I want to put my books out, my albums out, things like that. But never wanted to slam. I always wanted to like promote other people and see other people winning and seeing other people doing great things in the process. So that's kind of like been my goals and aspirations. But it's something that I do want to try.
Yeah,
just
it's
to
on your
see.
bucket list.
Yeah, just
Why
to say
not?
I did it.
Yeah.
So
I think the community of poetry, especially the way Doo-Wop has it formed, is so supportive. Like you couldn't go wrong.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I feel like you'll be fine.
Yes. So definitely looking forward to November 11th. Y'all make sure y'all tap in, get y'all tickets. Poets register, please.
Yes.
It's going to be the season finale, season 6. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. I plan on competing and covering that night.
Yeah,
so
we're
gonna
committed.
do doubles. Yeah. So just because I choose to compete, like still got to cover too.
Right,
so
right.
you know that's gonna be a lot of fun. That night is
Yes.
going to be something that I'm really looking forward to. So
excited for you.
So before we wrap up the interview, what I like to do in season 2 is give my guests the opportunity to be the interviewer and ask me one question. And so you can ask me anything.
Okay.
And I'll answer it.
Okay. Let's see. So, I know you just dropped an album.
Nope, it come out on my birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're about to drop the album.
Yes.
With that said album, are you going to be doing like a tour and or performing those in places throughout the city? That's what the people want to know.
That is what the people want to know.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time, like, are you gonna, kind of do a tour? Are you even gonna have a listening party or a release party and things like that? See, for me, and one thing I need to improve on is making more time for myself. I put a lot of time into, like I said, doing things for others. Like I said, I like to record other people. That's like a passion of mine. I like to interview people. That's another passion of mine. And so with doing that and also trying to juggle my own creative career and my personal life on top of that, sometimes, kind of performing my own stuff gets like swept under the rug and I don't do it as much as I need to.
Gotcha.
So I would say it's a goal to get out here and just perform, period. But kind of the way my schedule is currently set up, I don't get a good amount of free time to be able to do those things.
Okay.
But I'm hoping it may not be immediate,
Yeah.
like after the album drops, but I'm hoping that in the coming months, and especially in 2024, I can really get out and promote the album heavily, perform in different spaces, let people know who B. Anderson is from a artist standpoint, because a lot of people, they will see the mic drop with B. Anderson, or they may even see one of my albums or something like that, but they don't see me out here on the mic as often. So that is something on my list of goals to do once this season wraps up and I kind of get more free time to be able to do some things. That's something that I would like to do, is to get out here and perform. I have features on this album that I think it would be dope to do a performance with. So I have Laura Wise on my album. Yes, I have Vibe One on my album.
Oh wow,
He produced the album.
Yeah.
And so he is a feature. I also have Cleo Court. She's on the album.
Super dope.
Yes, super. And then I have actually someone new that I met within the last year, who isn't really out here yet, but will be coming up soon, and her name is Kenya Tahir.
Nice.
So, you know, I really wanted to get some creatives on the project that would bring some versatility to it. Like Vibe One, he raps, so you know, I wanted to bring that element. Cleo, of course, she sings, so I wanted to do that, and I wanted you know, female poets. I wanted, you know, a woman's voice on the project, so that's where Laura and Kenya come in. So I really, my first two albums, it was just all me, no one else. So I kind of wanted to, you know, bring some other voices in and, you know, do that thing. And you know, so very excited about it. September 22nd, my birthday, a Kingpin Collection Volume 2, before it's all said and done, will be dropping. Super excited about it.
Exciting.
So, you know, I hope everybody listens. It'll be streaming anywhere you get your music.
Perfect.
So, so super excited about it.
Good to know. Put it in, lock it in.
Do you feel like we covered everything that you would have liked to cover today?
I think so. I feel like you asked very in-depth questions. I don't have anything else. I think I gave you my all.
Dope. Hey, that's always my goal. Like when a guest says that, that means that I did what I was supposed to do. That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's all.
This this has been the mic drop with B. Anderson. We had our guest Queen Celine. Enjoyed it. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. We are out.
Tap in with me.